the land of the free and the home of the brave. Somebody gotta do it. Hey, somebody gotta do it. Come on.
Turn the TV off.
Welcome and happy holidays from 2K Sports. It's time for NBA action. I'm Kevin Harlan here at the table with me, Greg Anthony and Richard Jefferson. And over on the sidelines tonight, Allie LaForce. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. You look at Minnesota, 6th right now in the conference with lots of time to make a move.
And when you look at Minnesota, they've stayed right there, just in sniffing distance of the conference leaders. That's a solid accomplishment at this stage of the season.
But it's something we expected. This team was built to compete with anyone.
And the starting lineup for the Timberwolves, guard and off guard, filled by DiVincenzo and Edwards. The big men on the floor for him, Randall and Gobert. And it's McDaniels in at the 3. And for the Celtics, Pritchard and White are their guards. Then there's Jaylen Brown, and it's Queta in at center. And Greg, we don't expect the pace to be fast tonight. These teams operate in the half court, don't they?
Exactly. There's so much transition offense in this league. It's interesting to watch teams execute in the half court. And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
McDaniels finds Randall. Inside, and finished off by Gobert.
Not stopping that. Gobert from there is right around 100%.
Pass to Brown. Pritchard sets a screen for Brown. About a minute played so far here in the first.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
And let's go to the sideline. Here's Allen.
Well, I had a chance to talk with head coach Joe Mazzulla. Unsurprisingly, the conversation turned to Rudy Gobert. Let's be honest, he's scary, coach said about the 7-footer. He hinted their strategy might involve trying to, quote, lure Rudy out of the paint so he's not there to slap away our layups. Maybe some tricky play here to try and push Gobert out of his comfort zone. Guys, back over to you.
All right, Allie, thank you. 3 on the clock. Here's Queta. Goes back up, and he lays it up and in. Queta's got his second basket of the game.
And you know what? He doesn't mind getting his hands dirty when it comes to really fighting on the backboard.
A really good start for him overall. He's already having a big impact on this game.
And here's DiVincenzo from the arc. And another 3 for Minnesota.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that just comes down to a lack of effort. The defender has to do a better job fighting through the screen.
Here's Queta. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. There's the pick. Pritchard with a wide-open look. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. And we've got our 2K insider, Shams Charania, on the line. Shams, what's the story?
Well, thanks. The Celtics this summer trading Drew Holiday for Anthony Simons. They're almost a decade younger. Simons' deep threat capability is definitely a fit for the way the Boston Celtics like to play, especially now moving forward. If he can fit in defensively, he could be a long-term contributor, guys.
Yeah, he's more than capable. Okay, Shams, we appreciate the reporting. And timeout called by Chris Finch. He's going to have a discussion on the sideline.
gentlemen, let's get loud for Celtic Entertainment.
So Boston ends up going with the new group. A moment now to look at the year-to-year scoring output and how it has been trending for Anthony Simons.
And you can see his scoring numbers trending down as time goes on. It's not what you want to see, but maybe it's just time to shift his approach a little and start looking for other ways to get points out there on the floor.
Now here is Miller. Outside Conley. Miller sets a screen for Conley. Back to Miller. Over to the left wing. Pocket 6. Reed with a screen for Dillingham. And Boston with the rebound.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
I'm sure they'll think twice about shooting against him next time.
Here's Shireman. Pass to Tillman. Now Hauser. He's covered by Clark. Hauser the pass to Simons. He's off from 17 feet.
That is not a bad decision to pull it from there. It was just a little bit off with the execution.
Here's Reed. Out to Miller. Launches a three. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. It's the Celtics. They lead by 1. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. And some good action in the books as we get back to the game that's been pretty close here so far. And the Celtics guys, what jumps out to you stats-wise?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
And let me tell you, when you establish a physical edge, it gives you a mental edge too.
On the court for the Timberwolves as our second quarter is underway. Randall and Reed holding down the post spots. Dillingham is out there with Conley, and it's Clark in at the 3-slot. Now, here's Simons. His last outing, he had 8 points. Here's Boucher, and the dunk by Boucher.
And this is something Simons has been improving on, creating openings for his teammates.
Former dunk contest champion Anthony Simons. Greg also a threat from deep.
Yeah, over half his shots coming from long range. I mean, he's not exactly a point guard or a lockdown defender, but if you need a bucket, that he can provide.
Here's Simons, following the basket by Julius Randle.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Dillingham with the bucket.
That's just smart basketball right there, finding a way to get a high percentage shot on offense.
And so the timeout by Joe Mazzulla here. He's going to take a minute here to get things straightened out. Brownie's checked in for the Celtics. White comes in for Anthony Simons. Minnesota also making some changes. Shannon's checked in, and Anthony Edwards subbed in for Dillingham. Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. Pass to Brown. It's hauled in by Shannon. Minnesota in the lead. It's Edwards on the wing. White covering. White against Edwards. Shoots over White. Edwards can't hit.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
Here's White. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup. We are really in the thick of the regular season now, Greg. You like what you've seen so far?
Absolutely. You can tell that everyone came to play this year. The game just keeps getting more advanced, and the skill level continues to rise. Just focusing on the task at hand, that's all you can do.
Yeah, when the game is up for grabs like this one has been, it's all about the attention to detail.
Here's Tillman. No scoring in this one. Hauser with the ball. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Brown, and the dunk to finish it off. Beauty. A lot of give and take between these sides early.
And both teams look like they came to play. He should have a good one.
Outside Edwards. Wants to get it to Randall and does. And that one drops. Randall's got the lead up to 1 now for the Timberwolves.
You know, they like Randall to be an offensive presence in the paint. They want him to be an option on every possession.
Brown outside. Julius Randle with the rebound.
Just enough coverage to bother that three-point attempt.
Outside Edwards. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. And here's Brown. He'll bring it up for the Boston Celtics. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Michael Conley. That's his first foul.
First team foul. Substitution on the court.
Here's White. Against Indiana, he was really on his game. Brown finds White. Brown with a screen on Edwards. And here is Simon. Clock at 4. Down low. Here's Cada. The shot is good. And so is his shooting tonight. 3 for 4.
Give credit where credit is due right there. A terrific assist.
Edwards looking it over. 3-pointers off the mark. And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Celtics lead by 1. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half.
16.
Thanks for tuning in. The story tonight with the Minnesota Timberwolves, they're in a close game.
At the defensive end, I'm not seeing disruption. I don't mean just forced turnovers. I mean taking the offense out of the rhythm.
And changing it up, my favorite segment. And that's all for us. Now it's time to send it back to Kevin Harlan for the beginning of the third quarter.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. So Anthony Edwards, the Timberwolves franchise player. GA, how good do you think he can be?
Well, some were ready to anoint him the new face of the league. But if they're to win the franchise's first title, there's another level he's got to reach.
The wing pairing, it's White and Brown. Then it's Peyton Pritchard. And it's Cada in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's who's in the game for the Celtics. Now here's DiVincenzo. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. Now here's White. Following the miss by Julius Randle. Pass to Pritchard. Back to White. It's up a 3. Come on. Now Pritchard. He has been a nice option for them offensively, and he's averaging more than 17 points a game. Just 2 to shoot. And it's White missing.
Not an ideal start to the second half for them. 0 for 3.
McDaniels kicks to DiVincenzo. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Randall is doubled. Edwards finds McDaniel. No good from outside. For Boston, they've gone 0-3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second half. 3-pointer, Pritchard gets it to go from beyond the arc. Pritchard's got the first bucket of the third here for Boston. 2 minutes into the second half of play now. Offensive rebound. No one near Edwards as he lets it fly. Gobert being slam dunked by Gobert.
And Gobert showing how much he wanted that basket.
The Celtics with the lead and a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. Rudy Gobert is improving his perimeter defense as well, Greg. It's helped his overall game.
Yeah, teams have looked to pull him outside and test his lateral quickness. But I tell you, he holds up better than you think, and we know his presence at the rim.
So it's the Timberwolves now, following the bucket by the Celtics. And the wide-open shot from DiVincenzo bangs home the trifecta. DiVincenzo's got 6.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that just comes down to a lack of effort. The defender has to do a better job fighting through the screen.
Back to Pritchard. Trying to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
Snatched up and finished off by Gobert. A great competitive game so far.
And from the look of it, this one could go right down to the wire.
Deflects the pass. DiVincenzo against Pritchard. Outside Edwards. 32 seconds left in the third. Mr. Randall launches it. It's hauled in by Brown.
This shot's just, it's not there right now with his team leading. Perhaps, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
Releases. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. Brown's got his first points of the game.
He just makes it look so easy on offense. Like, who takes pleasure in torturing defenses? He does.
Just a late reaction there from the defense, and he is always going to finish that one.
And we just finished the third quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. The Timberwolves on top, leading by a point. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
A lot of times a spectacular pass is more impressive than a spectacular shot. This is one of those times.
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. And a look at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the fourth. Randall and Reed holding down the post spots. Conley out there with Dillingham. And it's Clark in at the 3, the small forward. And Minnesota has possession following the three-pointer by Boston. Pass to Reed. Back to Conley. Floats one up. Rebounded by the Celtics. Outside, Simons. Wide open. Julius Randle with the rebound.
Well, the defense was fortunate. That was a good look from mid-range. He just was trash.
The long shot, no good. And Simons has got the ball here for the Celtics. Here in the fourth quarter, their defense has been very strong, allowing no baskets. Pritchard with the ball, covered by Conley. Reed with the rebound. Clark outside. Here's Reed. Here's Dillingham. Outside Conley. Now Reed. From deep. He drills the 3. And guys, here in the fourth quarter, still a close game.
Instant classic, fellas. This one could come right down to the last shot.
And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. He's not taking any chances and wants to huddle them up right away. Several teams changing it up here. Right now, let's take a moment here to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sidelines.
During that last break, I heard Joe Mazzulla as he talked with the team. He had some words of confidence for his team, saying all it takes is a few chances. We make a few plays down the stretch, we can steal this thing from them. Back to you guys.
We appreciate it, Allie. Thank you. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Now here's White. Shot clock at 6. Shoots the 3. The 3 goes down.
Confident and composed on the three-point shot at a critical juncture.
Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the 4th. Gobert with a screen on White. Now DiVincenzo. And get the 3. Now Brown. Brown gets it done inside.
There you go, JB. I love his confidence. One of his strongest traits.
White against Edwards. We've got 1:18 left in the game. Randle outside. And good that time.
And you'll never see Randle back down in a big moment. He's looking to be the guy when they need a bucket.
Now here's Brown. Now Edwards. Now DiVincenzo. Randle outside. Gobert fires. And again, no good. 2 points here might be all the cushion they need.
You would think so. This game is theirs for the taking.
Now White, and the Celtics can't hang on to the ball.
Oh, no, that was a huge turnover. That cannot happen at this point in the game.
And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. The magnitude at this juncture in the game clearly warranting a timeout. In terms of strategy here, any thoughts?
Big chance here to tie it with a bucket.
And you also have to wonder if they'll try for a 3. But they'll probably try for a 2. But if something opens up outside, I doubt that they will hesitate to take it.
Trailing by 2. Edwards. It misses. And they commit an intentional foul. It's another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
And they go to the intentional foul.
First personal foul, second team foul. At the line, Jaylen Brown.
He hits the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
Gets them to fall, and those are huge free throws. It's now a 2-possession game.
Minnesota calls timeout. There's 18 seconds left in the 4th. What do you think Coach's focus is going to be here?
Trying to stay alive. They've got to work quickly.
Yeah, no time to waste. They basically have to execute things perfectly from here on out.
Outside Edwards. Here's McDaniels. And down goes the 3.
Oh, you just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
He knew what they needed here and was determined to deliver.
In a game this close, this late, that kind of D is clutch.
It is. And then, Greg, to go in for the flush, that could be a backbreaker.
This is how you completely steal the momentum. It's clear who is in control of the game right now.
What's up? That's just clutch work, really. That's all you can say. A little bit of D now, and they'll be out of here with a win.
And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. No doubt he is feeling the importance of this moment right now. And talking about the approach now, what are they looking at?
Big chance here to tie it with a bucket.
And you also have to wonder if they'll try for a 3, but they'll probably try for a 2, but if something opens up outside, I doubt that they will hesitate to take it.
Brown outside. Can they tie it? And so it's the Timberwolves who come out on top here. This win, such a tremendous emotional boost for them.
Really an accomplishment and crazy finish to take a road game like this and simply deflate an entire building.
Now let's check in with Allie LaForce on the sideline. What do you have for us, Allie?
Julius, it wasn't always smooth sailing tonight, but you guys got it done. How did you feel about the level of play coming down the stretch?
Absolutely amazing. You know, there's ups and downs of the season, but, you know, one thing is we're going to play hard every night and give ourselves a chance. So we did that for most of the night, but, you know, we did an amazing job staying together.
The effort certainly was not lacking tonight. Thanks, Julius.
Terrific job, Allie. Thank you so much. That was enjoyable. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. With Richard Jefferson and Greg Anthony, and along with Allie LaForce on the sideline, I'm Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching tonight's NBA coverage. So long, everyone.